Hi, my name is Faisal Akbar. In this video, we will be discussing about how to prepare projected cash flows, how to use the projected cash flows in our daily business decision makings, how to make assumptions for preparation of the cash flows, and then at the end of a session, we will also be discussing how to compare actual cash flows against our projections so that we know that our projections were in right direction or not. First, we will discuss the definition. Cash flow projection is a breakdown of the money that is expected to come in and go out of your business. This includes calculating your income and all of your expenses, which will give your business a clear idea on how much cash you will be left with over a specific period of time. So, this is all about money. This is all about money. The provisions are not accounted for in projection of cash flows. Your movement of cash and bank balances. This is what this document is all about. For instance, if you are making sale on credit, then the transaction at the time of making of sale is not important, but the realization in subsequent period for that money is accounted for in the projection here. Expected to come in and go out. In order to achieve your objectives, you have some expectations that so and so money will be required, so and so money will be spent, and so money will be earned. So, this document is all about your expected amount that goes in or comes in or goes out of your business. Then the last thing, the most important thing of this of projected cash flow is how much cash you will be left with over a specific period of time. For instance, I am standing in December 2020. I have purchased a machine against which I am required to pay 1 million rupees in May 2021. Now, when I prepare my projected cash flows, my focus will be that I have enough money to make the payment of machinery as well as my routine expenses without any cash shortage. For instance, if I have a deficit cash in April, or I think that I will not be able to make the payment on in May according to my projected cash flows, I will look into the details. How can I earn more money, or arrange through loan or through equity, so that I am not stuck with payment at the time of making my payment. So we now move on to the objective. Cash flow forecasting is important because if a business runs out of cash and is not able to obtain new finance, it will become insolvent. The last thing I told you in my previous slide was that the balance of cash available for expected major payments. Here, if I run out of my cash and I'm not able to obtain new finance, then I will not be able to make my payment on time. That can lead to problems for me or increase in my liabilities. Cash flow is the lifeblood of all businesses, particularly startups and small enterprises. Now let us discuss some uses and advantages of projected cash flows. We can predict cash shortages and surpluses. If we know when the shortages will be occurring, we can look into the possibilities of deferring some expenses, or if the shortages are of major nature or material nature, then should we go for bank overdrafts arrangements, bank loans, uh, personal loans, or we should insert equity if required. Then if we have surpluses, then we can go for the possibility of investments in short-term programs, so that the money lying idle pays us some profits also. See and compare business expenses and incomes for the period. Estimate effects of business changes, for example, hiring an employee. If we want to hire some more employees, or we want to start a new branch or do some certain activities, the projected cash flows tells us when is a good time to start doing these activities. For instance, if we do not have proper cash flow, then we should defer the hiring of employees or arrange some additional inflows so that we can make the payments without disturbing the cash flow. Prove to lenders your ability to repay on the time. When a company requires loans or from banks or leasing companies, mostly the banks and leasing companies ask for projected cash flows. They want to see if you have the ability to repay their loans on time, whether you are managing your funds properly, and this gives them added comfort level, or to give you the money you require. Determine if you need to make adjustments. If you are going into cash shortage phase and it is continuing, maybe you need to cut down your some expenses, or need to look into the payment side, because, or otherwise, because in this case mostly the inflows are not increasing. So this is how you use your cash flow. Now we go to the practical area. Now we start with our practical area. Cash flows are divided into four areas: opening balances, inflows, outflows, and closing balances. First, we will discuss the assumptions. Sales assumptions are projected by sales department. Purchases are projected by procurement department. But we are not here discussing the assumptions made by the sales department or procurement department in defining what they require, how much they will be selling or how much they will be procuring. We will be interested in this area when the sales amount will be realized, or when the payments against procurements are due. Here I have made an assumption that sales against sales 30 days credit is being allowed, but 90% of clients usually pay off within 30 days, remaining go for 60 days. Then sales of waste, we cannot predict it, but you can say it is based on actual or last year's data can be used if your production is almost same. Here we have not done any specific work on that. Then local purchases. When you come to outflows, raw material and others. Local purchases, 30 days credit. So we have to make payments within 30 days of purchases. Imports, we will be making 60 days, we will be availing rather 60 days credit and then paying off the amount against imports. Then 30 days credit for stores and spares. When we look at the imports, we are not looking at the point where the import order was given, but when the stock was realized and payment became due. Then operating expenses, salary, wages, utilities, duties and sales tax, 30 days accrual, admin and selling and other expenses based on history. You can add history, 3 years average, or whatever you want to use for your assumption. Then taxes, actually this is associated companies. Usually when a company has associated concerns, they share some cash on regular basis as temporary loan to handle the cash shortages. So we have added this column also. For small companies, it is not required. Then fixed assets procurement, vehicles, furniture, IT products, anything new. This is a very compact document, but you can expand it according to your needs. For industries, it is a very thorough document, very large document, where you can add up every detail of all kind of payments and make their assumptions. Or if you are running a small shop, you can simplify it to your needs also. We have used the data. Now we move to the data. We have used data for December 2020 to December 21. Here against sales figure, you can see highlighted amount. This is not cash flow figure because this is heading says projected expenses and costs, but this is sales as projected by sales department. They have projected the data for January 21 to December 21, while previous figures have been taken as actual. Similarly, local purchases and imports. These are the figures projected by procurement department because this is what they will be buying again for their manufacturing requirements or selling requirements. This amount, January 21, we will be making import. The payment of this amount will be due after 60 days. Similarly, these are all expenses projected by accounts department and other related departments. So summing up this sheet is divided into two areas: assumptions and projections. Assumptions are the key points which are used, or you can say benchmarks, which are used to convert the projected expenses, costs or incomes into cash related movement. Then we have breakdown of income and expenses, because if we don't have this information, then we cannot make practical cash flow, which gives practically viable information. Now we come to cash flow. Now you will see projected cash flow starts from January 21. We have got opening balance 320.30. It is coming from the opening balance 320.30. It was opening of December 20, or you can say it was the closing balance as on 31st December 2020. Now we have account receivable or recovery against sales, and we have worked some schedule also. We have prepared some schedule for this recovery. 30 days, 90% of the of December is received in January, and remaining amount is received in February. This is the amount against December, and this is some opening balance against opening balance. So now assumption is equal to assumption G10 into 90 in February. This is G10. So you can see 261.13 into 90% reflects is reflected here, and the remaining is reflected here. If we add up these figures, we come to 261.13. Over 2.12 means total of these two figures recovered within 30 days against sales of February 21, then remaining 10% received in April, 60 days recovery. So this is how we make the schedule for our against our assumption, and you give link over here is equal to D60 coming from the total of this figure. This becomes our inflow, so this way you calculate your inflows. Now we come to outflows. I have purposefully left the figure because I wanted to fill the schedule with your help. We have got December 20 figure 295, and the local purchases are against the payment against local purchases are due after 30 days. So here we will go for December figure, and now I will fill in the area, and this way my total payments against local purchases are given. Now we go for imports. The imports are the payments against imports are due after 60 days. So if we have here, we have got a cash flow, a cash outflow against some previous figure. Now we give it, we fill it according to the requirement. We can use the formulas of stores and spares, because the stores and spares are also due after 30 days. Payment against stores and spares are due within after 30 days. So this is how we fill in the figures. If we can make some assumptions where we have multiple variables, then it is better that we prepare a summarized note like we made for our receipts, and then the total amount can go into the cash flows. The last part is closing balance. Closing balance is here we have broken the sheet in such a way that we have first calculated cash available for payments, which is opening plus total amount inflow. If we deduct the total of payments from the total of inflows including opening, we get the closing balances. Now next step is linking the opening of February with closing of January, because whatever is the balance at the day end becomes opening balance of the next day. Hopefully you are following what I am sharing with you and you are getting my point. Now that we have entered the data for receipt and payments in the projected cash flows, we will go for the most important item, that is closing balance. Here you see all figures in brackets. This means that we have negative cash for all the months starting from 84.22 to going to 39.70. So we come to know that we are short of cash during the whole period of January 21 to December 21. Now there comes a decision making. Either we can reduce our expenses, or you can say outflow during this period to save some cash, or we can inject some cash through other means. In this case we will have to do both things. So I am assuming that my company has some associated companies also who will provide us a temporary loan free of cost, so that we can manage our cash flow. So I add in the inflows associated cash flows. I ask my associated company to provide me 4,000 so that I have ample cash flow to manage my business. This 4,000 will be added to this formula. And you can see now my cash position has gone into positive figures. But I am still not in a position to pay back some amount during this year. What will I do? First, I will reduce my planned purchases against fixed assets. Let us say I make it 150 million, and then again 150 million. Next, my furniture fixture. I will not go for branch during this opening new branch during this period. So I will add 50, then maybe 20. Now my cash flow has gone up a little bit. I will not be able to. So you see here, so you see in September 21, I came into a position where I could pay back to my associated company not a total figure but partial payments. So I have entered some amounts which I can make which I can pay to the associated company without affecting my cash. So I have made payment of 725 against 4000 during the current year, and I have saved some money from my fixed assets procurement. I can go for either credit purchase, or I will try to purchase less so that I can manage my cash flow. So this is how you prepare your cash flow. You will be you will find it very easy, since you will be having control over your domain, your business. Domain means, here we mean business. You know when you can earn some money, when you have to spend that money. Here you can see that local purchases are spread out during the year on even basis. However, in many companies, the purchases are made in certain months, since the raw material is available in batches at low prices due to their seasonal nature. In that case, the availability of cash is critical before start of start of procurement spree. Here, with the help of this cash flow, we can always think how to manage that payments. For instance, if I say that my purchases are so in this case, the main purchases are made during 4 months. So what I will do is that I will make sure that my cash flow, that my closing balance at the end of this month, April, is sufficient to meet May, June, July and August expenses, and I will arrange cash beforehand so that I am not stuck with cash shortage during this period. Because if I lose this period, then I will be getting raw material at much high rates. This will negatively affect my company's performance. Summing up the activities done till now with respect to preparation of projected cash flows, we have prepared assumptions, then we have gathered data from different departments, and then we have prepared cash flow based on assumptions. Then we looked at our balances and adjusted some expenses and arranged some funds for projected to arrange some funds so that we can make our cash flow positive throughout the year. Now the next step is to check the validity of cash flow during the year. For this we come to variance sheet. Here you can see January with actual figures and other figures are projected. In order to look at the data, projected data, we see that in January the recovery was expected 383, but only 350 was recovered, while we had some good fortune of earning 50 instead of 7.36. Then during the period of month of January 21, the associated companies gave advanced us loan of 1000 only instead of 4000 as mentioned in projection. Finally, the purchases were same, operating expenses, income tax and others were same. We had to purchase some IT products also, so we did not purchase them in that period. So our cash flow, our closing balance is 520.42 as against 3960.78. Now comes the variances. We have the column where we will be watching our variances. So the recovery dropped by 33, the income against others increased by 42, then recovery from associated company, rather financial support from associated company was reduced to 1000, and 450 was decrease in increase in payment of fixed assets. So we had the negative cash flow of 3440.36, which is a difference between 520.42 and 3960. So this is how we will be adding. Let me close the split. We will be adding the data of each month when the month is closed, and this will become actual, this will become actual, and the variance will be telling us how far we are from you can say how far our actual results are from the amount projected. When we come to June 21, if we see that our results are very different, then we will have to project or change our projection or revise our projections for the next period, and so that we can manage our cash flows through projected through projections. Hopefully you have understood my presentation, and you will like it, and you will try to prepare your cash flows according to the video. If there is any question, you can always contact me on my email address, which is faisalfca1967@gmail.com. faisalfca1967@gmail.com. Thank you very much.